landing site is sufficient. Leaving the ship now.
Welcome back. Mr. Tofik, I am aware that this is your 8th visit to our resort. Your repeat patronage is much appreciated. Is there any assistance I may offer you today?
Actually, a question. Usually, when I come here, the shuttle takes a certain route, showing me the beauty of this world.
No major incidents in a while. Let's hope it stays that way.
Welcome to Paradiso. Jiro Sukiyama at your service. Do you have a security concern, or is there something else I can help you with? Neither. We're our own private force. The Paradiso group pays top dollar for top-notch security. And I dare say we're some of the best in the business. We have to be out here on the fringes of the settled systems. Ah, yes, of course. I'm glad you came. As you can imagine, we're in a bit of a predicament. Under normal circumstances, we would not enlist outside help in this manner. But this is a matter we can't afford to worry our guests about. As such, we need to handle this discreetly. Failure on your part to do so could have severe consequences. So, before we proceed, can you swear not to discuss this with anyone else unless explicitly directed to do so? Great. I appreciate it. Not too long ago, a strange and enormous ship appeared in Parima space. It is now locked in orbit around our planet. So far, it doesn't seem to be hostile, but any attempts to communicate with it have been in vain, so we're unsure of the ship's intentions. It bears no discernible markings or allegiances to any manufacturers we're aware of. I'm hoping that doesn't mean we're dealing with some sort of new deep space threat. It is. Whatever's going on, we need to approach this with care. First, see if you have more luck communicating with them. If not, you may have to try boarding. Whatever you do, it's important to remember to seek diplomacy with who or whatever's on board. As soon as you have any more information, report to Oliver Campbell. He's the CEO of Paradiso. All formal decisions will need to go through him, and he'll have your pay. Good luck.
We try to stay out of our guests' way, but we're always here if needed.
Ship's good. Buckle up and let's go. Orbital insertion complete. You may now move freely about the cabin.
What's new?
Can I help? Thanks for giving me a moment of your time. I promise this won't take long. I thought you deserved to know how proud I am that you chose to side with the United Colonies and put an end to the Crimson Fleet. You've almost single-handedly saved the settled systems from one of its most dangerous enemies. I can't possibly commend you highly enough. Well, I'm not sure I deserve that, but I appreciate it all the same. What I want to know is what motivated you into making the right decision. You had Crix's legacy in hand, and you could have easily taken it to the Key. Instead, you flew it to the Vigilance. Yes, that would have been unfortunate. The Crimson Fleet would have had enough wealth to fund their operation for decades. So, no regrets betraying Delgado then? I imagine you and he formed quite a partnership right up until the end. Agreed. With Delgado safely tucked away in a UC prison, things will certainly be quieter in the spaceways for a while. I suppose my final concern is how long this newfound peace will last. Given the fact that Navamora was never captured or killed, I couldn't agree more. My hope is that she was smart and went into permanent exile. I suppose only time will tell. Ah. Well, it appears I've soured the mood of our lovely conversation. I trust my mindless prattle hasn't been too much of a bother. Thanks for taking the time to listen.
Oh, pardon my ignorance. We just didn't expect to find people out here. We didn't think anyone else left Earth before us.
Perhaps we should greet our guests.
Of course. Manners. I'm Captain Diana Brackenridge. This is Security Officer Bomani Reader. And this is Dr. Mabuti da Costa, one of our elders.
A pleasure to meet you.
I see. As you may have presumed, we're in a bit of a bind. Our ship has finally completed its near 200-year journey from Earth, only to find our new home seemingly colonized by... well, we don't know. Communications haven't been successful, so your arrival is fortuitous. perhaps you'd be willing to act as a middle person between ourselves and the others. We're not entirely sure. Our engineers believe it's possible that our technology just isn't compatible with theirs. All we hear when using them to communicate with anyone is a bunch of disturbing noise. It gave me the heebie-jeebies at first. Well, the short answer is, we didn't. It's a generation ship, which is to say that most of us lived long, happy lives on board and passed our mission down to our children. It was never intended that the original crew would make it to our destination. The goal was always the preservation of the human race above all else. Though, it would seem that was perhaps a bit presumptuous. We do. Well, sort of. We saw structures using our surveying equipment. We've also seen the various ships pass us by. Some even seemed to want to communicate, but couldn't. Of course, we had no idea that they were being piloted by other humans. Oh yes, of course. Where are my manners? Now then, please follow me. There's much to discuss first. We'll speak more on the matter once we reach the bridge. Dr. DaCosta, you may return to your quarters if you wish.
Thank you, Captain.
I will follow you to the bridge, ma'am. For security purposes.
I do not believe we have need to fear our guest, but I'll allow it if you insist. Welcome to the Earth colony ship Constant. In the early 2100s, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, researched a number of scientific scenarios: climate change, asteroid impact, nuclear war, global pandemic, and more. Each scenario showed the likelihood of an extinction level event to be within 50 years. He fully believed Earth was destined to be rendered uninhabitable. We've always assumed that's what happened. Just because he gathered the best and brightest he could find, built the Constant, and set a course for this planet here. We were told that it was the largest, most advanced ship ever constructed on Earth at the time. You can believe entire generations lived and died on the ship. It really goes to show that there are no limits to human ingenuity and perseverance.
We were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship. Careful waving that fancy gun around. You don't need to see what it can do.
So, here we are. Let's talk.
I wonder what else is out there.
Just stay out of trouble. We've got strict rules around here, but they're strict for a reason.
The Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't change that. Seen a ship like yours before. Then again, I haven't seen any ships before you arrived.
Just because our equipment's old, doesn't mean it won't work to take down troublemakers.
Just stay out of trouble. The Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't change that.
Fighting the old constant has been fun. I'm looking forward to flying some fancy new ships when this is all over.
We got strict rules around here, but they're strict for a reason. Now that we know what's out there, things are going to be more interesting.
Careful waving that fancy gun around. You don't need to see what I can do.
Wow, I've heard about you, but here you are.
I've lived my entire life in the coast. I'm not sure how else to.
Wow.
I wonder what it's like.
We were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship.
Never seen a ship like yours before. Well, then again, I haven't seen any ships before you arrived.
You're less weird than I thought you would be.
We didn't believe anyone would be out here, but I'm glad for it. A bit frazzled, as you can imagine. People are anxious about discovering that we're not alone, and also worried about what will come to pass. While we hope we can work out a deal with the people on the surface, they seem reluctant to reach out, so there's no telling what will come of that. I do know that we can't afford to stay here in orbit forever. The ship was built to sustain us for many years with backup provisions just in case, but even that will come to an end eventually. Well, as I mentioned, we've been unsuccessful in communications with anyone up until you arrived, though not for lack of trying. But since you're asking, maybe you'd be willing to be a sort of diplomat between us and them as we attempt to resolve our situation. Does that sound agreeable to you? Ah, so they have a name. Paradiso. And it sounds promising that they sent you here to speak with us. You see, we intended to settle here, but we assumed that they intend to defend their claim given their presence here. We'd like you to go speak to them on our behalf and help us negotiate a solution, preferably one that favors us. Yes, of course. But we need to start from a firm position and state our goal. If need be, we can compromise, work out a mutually beneficial deal or some such, but initially I'd like you to be firm with them and convince them to leave the planet to us. Let me know how they respond, and we'll go from there. We thought about it, but it simply won't do. I need to think about the distant future of our people. Sure, our first settlement may be small, but our predecessors dreamt of our new civilization spreading across the globe. That will be difficult if someone else plans to do the same. While we're not completely close to the idea of sharing, it's much easier if we have complete domain over this world. Now, it makes little sense to give up before you try. Thank you, and good luck.
Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean it won't work to take down troublemakers. Now that we know what's out there, things...
The colonists knew how many times the constant almost came apart at the seams. Whew. Thankfully, I never let it.
Hey there.
These are exciting times.
Just stay out of trouble.
There's so much more to learn about now.
Hey!
We've had to do our fair share of recycling on the Constant. Not exactly a lot of places to get new goods.
Sure is nice to know there are other people out there.
The Constant is a peaceful ship. We were never told that there's threats coming from outside our ship.
Boy, am I glad you weren't some sort of alien or something.
And to think all this time we thought you were alone. Huh. And to think all this time we thought we were alone.
Wow, I've heard about you, but here you are.
Ship's no longer docked. We're free.
I hope your stay is a pleasant one. I have noted your repeat appearance at our resort. Thank you for your patronage. You have been automatically credited with 20% off your next stay.
Hey. Pardon?
Okay. Hello.
Yes, what?
If only I could figure out the secret to that new drink. I might need to enlist outside help.
Hi, you've got good taste coming here. What would you like?
I guess I have to admit, this resort isn't as bad as I thought it'd be.
If I could just stay here for forever.
Hi there. I've got a lot on my plate right now, but I'm happy to help if you need it.
Paradiso Security.
Excuse me, you can't just waltz in there. Do you have an appointment? Oh, you're the one they're waiting for then. Do you need anything else from me before you meet with the board? People were a little freaked out around here, understandably. It looks so different and it's so massive. We honestly thought we were under attack by an unknown entity. But then, nothing happened. It just stayed there. No one could communicate with it. And we've been very careful not to alert the resort guests. The board believed it would be bad for business. What I could tell you would get me in a lot of trouble. Most of them are typical C-level execs. I doubt you even need to use your imagination for that. The ones that show up to work day to day, at least. I swear, I've never even met some of them, because they chill at their own private, secluded beach homes all the time. Anyway, be smart around Oliver. He's got a way of getting what he wants without you realizing it. And that's all I'll say. I can't speak for anyone else, but I've got a pretty high-pressure job working as the executive assistant to the Paradiso board. You can imagine, dealing with a team of execs, trying to manage all of their schedules and their other whims. But it pays well, and they give me a nice executive suite at the hotel to live in. So, it's not all bad. Free access to all the resort's amenities after work helps too. Sure. Have fun in the Shark Tank. And don't worry, even they call it that.
I hope your stay here is going well.
I just feel that we should be focusing on the natural beauty of this planet, not our amenities.
There are millions of planets out there. People can go to any one of them. The resort facilities are precisely what we bring to the table. Heck, it's the only thing we've really got to offer.
Ah,
hello.
I don't want to
I
risk
didn't realize
us coming off
TV
as
was letting
just
people in
another
here.
artificial, shady, trash-filled dump like Neon. That's not who we are. We've got something special here. We should embrace that.
I am. And you must be the diplomat Jiro told me about. Welcome, welcome. Normally I'd offer you an all-inclusive stay at our resort before we spoke. But given the circumstances, I'm gonna cut to the chase. We've got our friends, the aliens, up there, causing all sorts of problems for our resort. You like that? The marketing team came up with it. The thought is, if we can't get rid of them, it might actually attract more tourism. Come see the aliens! We run a premier resort getaway here. We can't have our guests concocting stories about some budgy old ship hanging around up there. As it is, we've had to reroute our luxury liners round the other side of the planet on entry so no one sees it. It's bad for business. We need to nip this in the bud and take care of it before the tourists catch on and cause a scene. Ah, we're being direct then. Good on you. So, what do you know about this dodgy ship I'm hearing all about? Well, that's something. Shame we can't just tell them kindly to bugger off. Something tells me that's not going to work. Now, tell me, what are we going to do about it? Give me some proposals, people. I need something to work with here.
We could offer to resettle them here. There's more than enough space.
They could stay here, temporarily, but it'll cost them. Quite a bit, too. They'd need to work off all their debts before being allowed to leave.
Maybe not. What if we help them get out of here? Outfit their ship with a grav drive so they can find a new home. We could even lend our engineers to help and give their captain an updated star map. What do you think?
Sounds costly. We can't absorb that cost, and it's unlikely they even have compatible currency, let alone enough for the transaction. Someone else would have to foot the bill.
Oh, I swear this would be a lot easier if they ceased to exist entirely. Anyway, Seema's got the right idea. Either works for me. Just tell me what you want to do. We own this planet, they don't. Here at Paradiso, we don't like leaving things to chance. Who knows what these people will do with their land? Imagine the landscaping disasters they may come up with, and how that might mar the satellite imagery of the planet in our brochures. No, much better to assimilate them into our culture if they come here to live, rather than leave it to chance. Well, absurd or not, that's our official stance. I make the decisions that are best for our entire group. You don't. It's not our responsibility to bear the brunt of that cost. We're being more than generous by offering the use of our engineering team to help install it. A custom grav drive can't come cheap, and I assume they have neither the monetary means nor the connections to get a hold of that kind of technology. That leaves the only other party in this negotiation. You. Oh, I didn't say that specifically. This would be a mutual contract for room and board in exchange for services rendered. Of course, there's no telling how long this arrangement will last, given the substantial costs we'd need to take on in order to accommodate them here, including their continued room and board. But this may save the resort on operating costs in the long term, as we'd be able to let go of some of our current paid staff. And which proposal will you be taking to the good captain? I assume there's a captain? They'd be hard-pressed to defend their claim in any courts. Our charter goes back years. It was registered with both the UC and Free Star Collective, per the Centaurus Proclamation. We may be outside the settled systems, but that charter's official as can be. I'm sorry, but you're going to need to be the one to break the news to them that they need to make a compromise or leave. Ah, good on you. You want to see a man named Benny St. James over at Hope Tech. He's the best in the business. If anyone can retrofit a 200-year-old ship with a modern grav drive, it'd be him. We'll coordinate our engineering team with his when you return, though you may have to help the Constance engineers prepare for it on their end. Good luck. Right. On behalf of the Paradiso Group, we appreciate your help. Belom's right.
Thank you.
We don't want to compete with Leon. Value's ruthless. Do anything he can to eliminate...
Please, let the concierge know if you need anything.
beautiful out there, isn't it?
It may be paradise. That doesn't mean
I'm here to satisfy you.
Struts retracting. Let's get out of here. Orbital pattern locked in.
I don't want to hear any complaints. Keep an eye on your valuables.
I can't believe Ron.
We'd be dust, except for the factory.
Yes?
You here for commerce? Or another bored tourist?
Rumor mill says Ron Hope got shot when the rain was trying.
Awful orders.
Excuse me?
Sure, we get the occasional bar fight, but it's usually pretty quiet around here. Folks from all over the Freestar Collective come here looking for work. Not usually. Local security handles most of their issues. Every once in a while, though, we need access to sensitive information as part of our work. Badge or not, some folks aren't fond of letting us poke around in their books and personnel files. Honestly, though, it's not that common. Most people are willing to work with us because they know it's in everyone's best interest. Bye.
Pardon.
Yes?
Please proceed with caution. There is heavy machinery operating in this.
Just keep it holstered, and we'll get along fine.
Excuse me. Hey.
this area.
Someone worth paying attention to.
Howdy.
Workers like to play hard here. CEO of Oakland. As long as you keep the peace, you're good.
Ron Hope was a legend. He just played.
Off-worlder, right? Stay safe.
Someone needs to do something.
Almost done with my shift. I don't want to hear any complaints.
standard with extra cargo.
Are you sure?
Keep an eye on your valuables.
This measuring. Yes, I'm sure. Oh, no. That wouldn't work. The O2 needs enough capacity for the whole ship. Oh, hello. I'm not used to people wanting to talk to me. Sure, that sounds like me. What can I do for you? I'm a little busy, but I think I could spare some time. Oh, you should have just said that. Of course I can help you. Oliver sent a courier ahead of you. I did some research on ships from that era, and I have a decent idea what we're dealing with. So grav drives didn't really take off until after the ship was built. But I've got access to an ancient grav drive that looks like it could be compatible. With some minor adjustments. It's in good shape, too. Parts not cheap, though. Neither is the labor. Just pay the combined cost of parts and labor, and it's yours. It's a pretty big ask, given how rare these old grav drives are. True. I keep telling myself I'm holding on to it for the right time. Perhaps this is that right time. I'm glad you understand the position I'm in here. Maybe so. Tell you what. Sounds like this is for a good cause. While I can't give you the pod for free, I won't charge you for the work. You're darn right it is. I'll get to work on it right away. I recommend you go back to the ship and ask the captain to prepare for its retrofit. Standard stuff. I'm sure they have an engineer on board to help. We'll send the part along when it's ready and install it with the help of Oliver's people. Pleasure working with you.
We'd be dust, except for the factory.
Yes? What?
Hello.
Word is Ron Hope had a heart.
Let's put this bird into space. Retros firing. Orbit stabilized. Grab drive spinning down. Systems green.
Time to cycle the airlock and move.
Careful waving that fancy gun around. You don't need to see.
We've got strict rules around here, but they're strict for a reason.
Never seen a ship like yours before.
There's so much more to learn about now.
We were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship.
Sure is nice to know there are other people.
I've lived my entire life in the Constant. I'm not sure how else to live.
I wonder what it's like out there. Our little community.
Hey!
200-year-old ship running is no easy task. I was hoping to talk to our visitor from outer space, and here you are! Welcome, welcome! I have a million burning questions, but I won't overwhelm you. There will be plenty of time for that later. Please, indulge me just a couple. How did you do it? Did humanity finally discover faster-than-light travel and eclipse our poor old ship? I knew it. It's incredible! I read about this technology in our archives from Earth, but it was only theoretical back then. Amazing! I'll have to learn more. Oh, I've got so many questions, but I'm being rude. I haven't even given you my name. Chief Engineer Kazemi, but you can call me Amin. And, I might add, I'm one of the reasons we're still floating out here today. Yes, of course. Anything for my new friend. What grab drive? Just joking with you. The Paradiso engineers filled me in. Okay, let's see what we need to do. All right. This will be fun. And hopefully there will be no explosions in the process. I have just received word that the drive is here. Ready to get to work? Great, great, great! There are 3 preparations I need you to help me make while I set things up on my end. First thing I need you to do is reroute the power from the port turbo pump to the auxiliary cryogenic radiator. Then, turn the plasma runoff inhibitor function to 5%. Last, you'll need to decouple the magnetic flange pipe enclosures from the auxiliary module assembly. Got it? Let's hop to it!
Glad you weren't some sort of alien. Or something.
Hi. People always appreciate a good engine, whether they know it or not. Looks like everything is good to go on both your end and mine. Installation? Thanks. Never thought I'd be so happy to learn about a brand new piece of technology. Yes! So many! Does everyone have their own spaceships like you? Do people only live on naturally habitable planets, or did they learn to terraform? Are we in contact with alien species? I have so many more, but I don't want to take up all your time. Haha! I knew it! Incredible! Amazing! Simply amazing! In our ancestors' time, only the very wealthy could afford to build ships. Even this ship was only possible by our families pulling together nearly all of their financial resources. I'm not surprised. The amount of energy it would take to terraform an entire planet seems improbable. I can assume these types of colonies are strictly for mining and gathering rare resources, since there are nearly limitless habitable planets to choose from out there. Disappointing, but not unexpected. When you showed up, I tried to tell the others about the Fermi paradox. I suggested that the most likely explanation for you was that humanity had developed faster, more advanced technology and had leapfrogged us. Seems I was right. Thank you for taking the time to talk with me. I can have a bit of a big personality, I'm told. So let me know if I ever get on your nerves. So long!
No matter the outcome, I won't let my crew down. Well, well, it would appear we have the means to go nearly anywhere now, thanks to you. The engineers even upgraded our communications equipment so we can speak with passing ships. Turns out it was a pretty easy fix. Thank you again for all you've done. Without you, we'd most likely be stuck. But you went above and beyond. I'll make sure people tell tales of your generosity for as long as our society lives. I don't know if we can ever fully repay you. Thank you again.
Careful waving that fancy gun around. We don't need to see.
Just because our equipment's old doesn't mean it won't work to take down
Hey, maybe you could help out Abe. He's been talking about needing someone with a ship. Just stay out of trouble.
We were so close to finding our...
You're lucky we're under orders not to escort you right off this ship.
We got strict rules around here, but they're strict for a reason.
Now that we know there are other people out there, we need to be more prepared for trouble than ever.
Great. How many more days? Months? Years of being cooped up here before we find a new place to live?
Oh, hi! Hello! You're the alien. Sorry, old habit. Let me start over. You're the person who helped us with our little dilemma, aren't you?
I had a free moment, so I thought I would drop by. How are you doing today, my love?
Much better.
Sorry! Yeah! Deep breath. Here we go. I'm Abe. Levitz. Abe Levitz! Cabin manager on board the ship, so I'm happy to help you with anything you need during your stay with us.
Sorry, dear. I didn't mean to make it more difficult than it needed to be. But now, it's...
I'm happy to schmooze with you anytime.
lives together.
Ah, glad you asked! I coordinate cabin maintenance, plan activities, even help settle domestic disputes. It's a demanding job, but in short, I'm here to keep people happy. I try to keep both the kids and adults entertained. Scavenger hunts, sing-alongs, fun little art projects, you name it. We also have regular media nights where a historian, Julia Yang, screens old movies, plays music, and exposes us to other Earth media. Oh, you heard? I was just kvetching to myself. Mostly I just need to find someone with a ship, but hey, you're someone with a ship, aren't you? I'll save you the spiel, but ever since we found out that people exist out there, the crew's been asking me if we could track down possible relatives. I made the mistake of looking some up, and now they want to connect with them. Now, I'm not gonna ask you to schlep anyone back and forth, but could you deliver these messages for us to connect our crew with their relatives? Oh, you're such a mensch! Thank you! Let me get you the letter and the information you'll need to track down the relative. Hope you're not having any trouble finding my friend's relative.
Constant is a peaceful ship.
Not worried about Janet. I wonder if someone from the outside.
Never seen a ship like yours before.
We're free and clear for flight.
Jump spinning down.
Welcome to UC Space. Maintain your current course while we scan your ship's cargo. And we're done.
Welcome to New Homestead. Please make your way to the building at the end of the path and down into the colony below. Stay safe and enjoy your visit.
Don't touch. power's on the fritz again. Joyce always seems to need help clearing ice off the equipment.
Careful. There are some dangerous areas around here that are not part of any tours.
Hi there. Always nice to see a new face.
The people here live a simple life. Try not to complicate it.
I've heard about lots of other planets out there. Some of them sound pretty scary, though.
If you'll pardon me, I'm not in the mood to talk.
Hello. Don't mind me. I love talking with off-worlders like you. Ah, someone new. Are you a tourist, or have you just moved to New Homestead? Well, there's lots to learn. You can always feel free to try one of the historical tours, or ask the locals about life here. I'm fascinated by the other worlds in the settled systems. Do you mind if I ask you a question? Oh, wonderful. What's New Atlantis like? Oh my, that sounds incredible. Ever since I overheard one of the tourists speaking about it, I've always wanted to go. We hear about it, of course, but we rarely get much exposure to other worlds beyond the people who come from them to visit our little colony. I wonder if I can convince Nathaniel to go on a trip there with me and our daughter. Do you mind if I ask you another question? Thanks. I promise not to take too much of your time. Is the Freestar Collective as lawless as I've heard? I figured the stories weren't all true. How else would you expect people to live together if you can't trust in laws to keep everyone safe? Even in a small community like ours, we have to maintain law and order. Though, I understand it gets difficult to always protect that out in the vastness of space. I imagine it's the same in the Freestar Collective. Is it okay if I change the subject? Oh, thank you. Are there really planets full of plants, fresh air, and water? I've read about them. It seems incredible, doesn't it? I've only ever known Titan, and it's always so cold and drab. I've always dreamed of visiting one to breathe the air, feel the warmth of its sun, but my husband is reluctant to leave our home. Can I ask you something else? Oh, wonderful. Is space travel as exciting as it seems? I'd like to think that I wouldn't ever get used to it, that every time would be just as impressive as the first. But you're not the first person I've spoken to who has said something similar, so I have to believe that I could become just as jaded. Those are all the questions I have at the moment. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day for me.
I could really
go for some of Anya's cooking over at the Brown Horse.
No disrespect, but I'd appreciate if you let me and my family be. I overheard you speaking to my wife, Mara, filling her head with ideas about picking up and leaving home. You got anything to say for yourself? Listen here. Mara's free to make her own decisions. I'm not here to control her if that's what you're insinuating. But that doesn't mean I take kindly to other people manipulating her and telling her the other worlds are full of sunshine and rainbows. We live a simple, traditional life here, and it's important to the community that we maintain that. Do you understand? People rely on technology too much. We need to remember how to perform the basics to survive in case we ever find ourselves without said technology. We need to remember where we came from. Earth, this system, lest we forget and repeat the same mistakes as before. We're one of the last colonies charged with that preservation. That's why it's important. We're going to have to agree to disagree then. I only ask that you respect our wishes.
I can't wait to go away on my learning vacation when I grow up.
We used to get more tourists than we do these days.
Some say New Homestead is a backwoods world. Maybe it is, but that doesn't really bother me.
Something I can do for you? Well, that's news to me. I thought I knew about all my relatives. So, you'll forgive me if this is hard to believe. Fame and fortune, you say? I hadn't thought of it like that. I could help tell their story. Well, hold on. I didn't say that. Just give me a minute. you convinced me. Let me see the slate. Yeah, thanks, but I really don't have time for more family. I hope they don't expect a response. Better yet, tell them I'm dead. That you did. I'm still trying to think it over. I definitely wasn't expecting this today. Wish me luck, I guess.
Welcome to New Homestead.
Those folks in Sidonia may be closer to Earth, but we do a better job preserving these traditions. You get used to the methane processing smell after a while.
Some of us are quite happy with our lives here. We don't need tourists distracting us with their flights of fancy.
Lots of history here, if you're into that sort of thing.
Papa, you're always talking about how
Heads up, if you're planning to go to Chunks, Luther's been bothering anyone with a ship for help.
What did we think of the tour?
Very informative.
Hello there. The museum here is free to everyone.
Brown Horse Tavern, was it? Huh? The food was good. While since I last visited. Planet like this. Nice to see this place still has the same charm.
If you're looking to trade, I'm happy to help. Well, hello there, and welcome to my little shop. Are you visiting New Homestead for the first time? Oh, nice. You know, it's always such a pleasure to meet people from other worlds. Or just space. I don't judge. I'm Jay. I'm happy to help you find what you're looking to buy or take a look at whatever you want to sell. Trades of all kinds are welcome here. Or if you have any questions for me about the shop, the merchandise, or even just New Homestead in general, I'm happy to help you. I love them. Most of us in New Homestead appreciate what tourism does for our economic livelihood, so we go out of our way to make guests feel welcome. Some are indifferent about it, while a few others, I won't name names, are downright resentful of all the tourists and would prefer to be left alone. But that being said, I believe our generally friendly demeanor is a large part of what drives people to keep coming back. Sure thing. I'm also interested in buying if you have anything for sale. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Hello.
I'm learning so much here. Everyone should visit at least once in a while.
New Homestead is a living history exhibit. But these are real people, so please be kind to them.
Sure would be nice to get off world sometime.
I don't
Boy,
mind
I'm
the
glad
tourists.
they have
They
a
help the
chunk,
local
see ya.
economy.
If you need medical attention, see Dr. Lakota. But, word of warning, she really doesn't care for tourists.
Pull up a seat. I'll take care of you.
Off-worlders always ask how I can live here.
Welcome. I'm Anya. Is this your first time with us at the Brown Horse Tavern? Oh, well, thank you for joining us. You're in for a real treat. We've got an assortment of food and drinks, some of which follow homemade recipes that have been passed down over hundreds of years. So, what can I do for you? Oh, hardly. The locals pretty much stay away from chunks, so whenever they don't feel like cooking themselves and want a fresh meal, they come to me. Only the tourists eat that junk. But don't tell that to my husband. He manages the chunks. I love him, but he's a bit of a fanatic about it. Let me show you what we have. Take care. Thanks for stopping by.
It's one thing to learn about early colony life. It's another to experience it. If you take one of those stupid tours, make sure to follow the rules. They're for your own safety and my own safety. What can I do for you? Even though we don't have shiny new medical facilities, I imagine it's easier than wherever you're from. We have fewer people here, and we're very responsible when it comes to our personal health and welfare. So there's not much I can't handle. For anything else, we can get access to off-world specialists. Contrary to popular belief, we're not primitive. It's a harsh world, but as long as you're inside or wear a suit when going out, you'll be fine here. There's no breathable air on the surface, and you'll quickly freeze to death outside without protective gear, but otherwise the hazards are minimal. New Homestead was an early colony research base and has stood the test of time. It's safe, and it's proof that people can live pretty much anywhere. Don't worry so much. I don't have a whole lot, but hopefully I've got what you need. I don't. They make a mockery of New Homestead culture. And on top of it, they're reckless. It's like I said before, I feel like I'm treating them more often than our own people. Actually, maybe there is. I have an idea that may be best suited for someone relatively unknown, instead of myself. I've got a mountain of work and a reputation to maintain. So I bought a realistic monster costume. The plan was to wear it, scare tourists away, and start a rumor about terrible creatures living on Titan. I figure that once word gets around, tourism will take enough of a dive to give me some relief. Maybe, I'm not sure. I know it sounds crazy, but I don't have any other ideas. The tourism board flat out won't help me, and I don't have money in the budget to hire additional help. And you know these tourists will believe anything they see and hear. I think it's worth a shot. Worst case scenario, I'm back to square one. Try to be careful out there. Do you need medical assistance? Okay, I'll take a look at you. You're fine. Unless you're a hypochondriac. In which case, I can't help you with that. I don't. And on top of it... Actually, maybe there is. So I bought a realistic monster costume. I figure that once word gets around... Oh, good. I was hoping not to have to do it myself, so I'm glad to have a volunteer. Here's the costume. I think this will work best on the surface, so just find a group and run up to them, acting like a convincing alien monster. With any luck, they'll run screaming and book the next flight out of here.
spaceship. I want to get a spaceship when I'm older. They're so cool.
It's a little weird that people come here to see what early colony.
It's a little weird that people come here to see what early colony life was like. To me, it's just how we live.
Don't stay outside for too long here on Titan. Pretty solid.
I'll treat you. Look, I know what I'm asking you to do is pretty silly, but I still think it's worth a shot. See, sometimes silly ideas are worth the effort. Thank you. With any luck, I'll be able to give more attention to my regular patients now. Tell you what, if you want to come back later and do this for me a couple more times, I'll even let you keep the costume.
Off-worlders always ask how I...
Ready for takeoff in 3, 2, 1, go!
Stay in orbit or jump. Your call.